Australian soldier Oscar Jenkins has been confirmed alive after he was previously feared executed by Russian forces while fighting for Ukraine. Live to Nine's Europe correspondent Edward Godfrey in London. Edward, could he be released?
Well, Jane, that is certainly the hope, and there'll be a lot of work going on behind the scenes to try and make that happen. Melbourne man Oscar Jenkins first popped up in a video in late December, captured by Russian soldiers while fighting for Ukraine. In the video, he did appear quite scared as he was interrogated and struck multiple times. Stories began circulating recently that the 32-year-old former teacher may have been killed, but that has changed in the last 24 hours or so. Foreign Minister Penny Wong saying the Australian government has received confirmation from Russia that Oscar Jenkins is alive and in custody. Ukraine's ambassador to Australia has said Russia must provide video proof of him being alive and to not.
It's a happy moment for every Australian and for his family especially to hear that he's alive. The interest towards him now is very high. You know, good news that he's alive. Now we need to get him out.
Well, after weeks of speculation, Foreign Minister Penny Wong has confirmed that captured Australian soldier Oscar Jenkins is likely alive.
And now the Australian government is pressing Russia to release him for more. We're joined by Ukrainian MP Kira Rudik live in Kyiv. Kira, thank you for your time. Appreciate it as always. Oscar Jenkins went to Ukraine to fight the war. Do you think there's any way Russia will free him?
Well, thank you so much for having me on the show, Carl and Sarah. And let me start with expressing the word of support to the family and loved ones of Oscar Jenkins. We in Ukraine know how hard it is when you have a relative or a loved ones under the captivity with no information or little information and with little hope to get the loved ones back. So from our experience with Russia is that they are not going with any of the conventions with the treating of prisoners of war. And there has been confirmed and devastating execution of the prisoners of war. And it has been completely almost impossible to conduct the exchange of the prisoners of war between Russia and Ukraine, though we have been constantly asking them to do the exchange all for all, which may be a very good solution to the current situation. We will be working together with the Australian government to try and help with the situation. But what we have seen in the past is Russia is using all the ways to have some benefits to themselves. And in the past, we have seen them exchanging the prisoners of war to the Russian citizens who were were in prison in different countries. This may be a way of discussing something with them. However, I will tell you not to trust them and always demand the proofs that Oscar Jenkins is alive and well, and demand that he is being treated according to the conventions.
I mean, Kira, I guess it's worth making a demand to Russia for proof of life, right? But they're unlikely to listen. I mean, for weeks we thought Oscar Jenkins was dead. It's taken them until now to suggest that he's actually alive. Obviously, they want to use him as a bargaining chip, but how do you negotiate with a country like Russia at the moment?
Well, I can tell you it's extremely hard, and we have been trying to do that for a long time right now. What works with them is personal sanctions and international pressure, and working with some countries that are still trading with Russia to be an interim negotiators. For example, Qatar has been helping Ukraine to get some of our captured children back, because, you know, it's again beyond any human understanding of what you can do when somebody's capturing children and using them as bargaining chips. I'm really sorry again that you have to deal with this, but I think we need to understand that the whole world is under the threat, because you cannot actually agree on something with Russia, right? Yeah. You cannot trust what they are saying, and then there is no guarantee that whatever they will agree with you on, they will execute.
Okay.
And this threat is not only with exchanging prisoners, but with everything else.
All right, Donald Trump's in the Oval Office now. Are you ready to do a deal?
Well, is there anyone, again, who can make sure that Russia will keep their part of the bargain? Is Donald Trump going to be this person? This we have not heard from him yet. We heard that he wants to end the war, but let me ask you, would Russia, China, Iran, and North Korea stop amplifying their military capacity, stop training their soldiers, and stop manufacturing more weapons and supplies if there is a peace deal? I don't think so. And it means that there will be more wars.